welcome back to Kale's Travails, coming at you from Bandeira, I don't know, Bandeira. Okay, so today was a super short day. I only went 6.6 or 6.7 miles. I could have gone another 5 kilometers, so another 3 miles, but I've only got 33 kilometers left total, and I've got 3 days. And, you know, after things feeling a little bit sore, I decided to take it easy, and it was really nice. So this morning got off to a rough start. I didn't want to get out of bed because it was freezing in the albergue and it was warm under the covers, so I got up late, packed up and got out, left the albergue. Now, the albergue I had keys to my dorm, and I had keys to like the front gate, not even the front like door, the front gate. And the woman said, you know, when you leave in the morning, just leave your keys on the desk at reception, except then you can't lock the front gate behind you, and you also can't unlock it to let yourself out. So you have to go unlock it, come back, drop the keys, and leave again. So I did all this. I'm already late. And then I walked to the bread place to pick up a croissant, because remember, those things are magic. On my way there, I'm like 90% of the way from the albergue to the bread place, and I'm like, oh, I left my trekking poles at reception. No. So at this point, I'm super grateful that you can't lock that front gate, because I can actually get back in, because at this hour of the morning, it's not like there's anyone around to help me. So I decided to just get the croissants while I was almost there. So when I got there, I thought the croissants were like this big. I looked on the shelf super quick. I'm like, oh, tiny croissants. I'll get 2. She hands me the bag, and I'm like, why is this bag huge? It turns out the croissants were like the size of my face. So I have one for breakfast for tomorrow. Oh, so delicious. So then I went back, recovered my trekking poles, and went and caught a cab. Now, the cab ride was super quick, only €5, dropped me off right where I left off yesterday. So behind schedule, but I knew it was gonna be a short day anyway, so it wasn't the end of the world. And then I started walking. Now, the beginning was all uphill, and I gotta tell you, my body's a little sore. It's just sore from all the everything. So at one point I was going uphill and my quads were burning. I'm like, no, you gotta use the booty muscles. They're the uphill muscles. So I switched my stance up a little bit and tried to move it to the booty, and then I was like, oh my God, my butt's sore too. All my muscles are sore. I'm sore. But then luckily the first third was uphill and the latter 2/3 was mostly downhill, and a lot of it a gentle downhill. There were some rocky parts though that were really out to get me. So when remember I had to take a taxi backwards to walk forwards. And so when I'm walking through Silleda, which is where I slept last night, I did not want to stop at anywhere I stopped yesterday to get today's sello or stamp. Remember, I need 2 stamps per day, because they would be like, I already know you, crazy pants. What are you doing? So I went somewhere else. They didn't have a stamp. And I'm like, I need 2 per day, but I'm only going 1 town further, because this was like a bigger gap between towns. Oh my gosh. But luckily I stopped at a second place. They did have a stamp. I just bought a bottle of water from them, and I carried on. I basically walked, not basically, I walked right past my albergue, which was the first time that's happened. Usually when I had to backtrack and come back forward, I didn't end up passing where I slept, but I did yesterday. So journey continues. Perfectly lovely. Took pictures as usual. Along the way, I got hit in the head with a falling acorn. Now, an acorn's like this bloody big, and you figure you won't even feel it. Oh no, you feel it. Now, what's funny is I've been walking through forests for weeks now, and there's just stuff crashing down all the time. I guess it's early fall, and so acorns and chestnuts and all sorts of things are just falling out of the trees. And I had thought to myself more than once, man, I'm lucky nothing's hit me. Well, that luck ran out today. Tiny bastard. Carrying on again. Oh, I met a dog. It was such a sweetheart. It was gigantic, and it ran along the whole fence line with me. And then when I got to the end of the fence where I was gonna have to leave my furry baby, there was actually like a gate, and I could pet it through the gate, and it made me so happy. So I arrived here in Bandeira, whatever it is, and it was before any of the sleeping places opened, so I just chilled out at a bar. Unfortunately, that's when I spoke to my parents, and I got some sad news. One of the 2 family dogs passed away last night. So I'm really glad they told me, and I'm glad the family could all be together to send Rory off, but it's really weird that when I go home, he just won't be there anymore. So that was a bit of a downer, and I'm not gonna lie, after that, pretty much all I did was shower and nap and read a book and I just went out and got dinner and came back. So I guess just a moment of introspection, because that's what I've been doing the closer I get to Santiago. I'm only 3 days away. Today's lesson that I decided to reflect on was on injury and how I cope with that. So, super long history of injuries. I've played sports my whole life. Lots of orthopedic problems, knees, ankles, feet, you name it. If it's from the hips down, it's probably a problem. And this trip has shown me that, yeah, that's still going to happen. Even if you plan and you try to prepare, it's going to happen. But also, if you give yourself patience and a little bit of grace, and you get the right supporting implements. In this case, I have 2 braces now. I started the trip with 0, I'm up to 2. And maybe it's not always braces, right? Maybe it's physical therapy, maybe it's whatever, but there's a way through it. And so I have to try to bring that back to real life and not let those injuries keep me from having an active and fun life, which it has done in the past. So I guess that's today's reflection. There's plenty more to come, but it's late because today's been weird, so I'm gonna pop off. But each of the last 3 days, I'm gonna try to spend the last minute or 2 of my video journal here thinking about what have I gotten from this trip? What's it really meant for me? So if you enjoy that, keep tuning in. If not, just listen to my report and then skip on out. So tomorrow I'm going to Ponte Ula or Ulla, I don't actually know, Ponte space Ulla. Now, like I said, it's only about 33 kilometers to Santiago from here. I could do it in 2 days. I'm gonna do it in 3. So figure 12 kilometers per day for 3 days. 12 kilometers translates to about 7 to 8 miles. So nothing epic, but it gives me a little more time to breathe. It reduces the chance of injury. Tomorrow's a primarily downhill day, and then the following 2 days have some pretty serious uphills. So that's all for now. Thanks for being here. And tomorrow I'll be back with more stories.